Oh, Ashby's Law of Requisite Variety.
Ooh, Ashby's Law.
Ashby's Law. Tell us a bit about Ashby's Law of Requisite Variety. I don't think I ever really understood this before, but hopefully this is going to be the time.
Well, Ashby's Law of Requisite Variety is really, really simple. And it just simply says that if you've got unpredictable things coming in from outside that are affecting your business, you have to have enough strategies inside, and there has to be more strategies inside than are different types of perturbations from the outside.
Oh, okay.
So
this will be, for example, I teach quite a lot of different subjects, because if I taught only project management, if it goes out of style and everybody's just doing agile instead, I'm stuffed.
Yeah,
right.
So I do time management and selling.
Exactly
and that's
that.
my variety that keeps me more or less immune. So Brexit might be good or bad for negotiating, let's say. I don't even know. But I've got that variety. It makes me more secure.
Yeah. And the critical thing about Ashby's Law is there's a requisite variety. And the requisite variety is more than their perturbations you're going to suffer. So if if your customers are giving you a range of 6 things in general they pick, then you probably just need 7 subjects.
Yes. In fact, a better example probably is the fact that I can do it over Zoom as well. So when COVID comes along, it doesn't really matter because we can do it over Zoom.
Yeah.
But
it didn't have to be just COVID.
It could be anything.
Zoom could have solved a lot of issues.
It has.
The important thing is you've got one more.
Yes.
So this is
you can actually count the number.
Yes. So you have Ashby's Law says you can't. The system doesn't remain stable if you've got too few.
Yeah.
Because things pour in to your business.
Yes,
that you can't answer.
Lumpy,
like
isn't it?
in your example, COVID. If you couldn't do it on Zoom, that was a life-threatening event.
Yes.
Business-threatening event, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had more strings to your bow, more baskets for your eggs.
Well, the videos I've made went up during COVID.
Yeah.
And then I learnt Zoom as well, and that meant I could do stuff for America, which I'd never really been able to do courses because it's too hard to travel to America to do a one-day course. Right. So those actually turned out to be better, and then of course the face-to-face stuff dropped right off. Yeah. Whereas some trainers I know were just totally out of work when.
Like a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
So you see this in groups of animals when they sort of going extinct. They get down to a certain population, and then that population becomes dysfunctional because there isn't enough genetic variety.
Yes.
Okay. So this is all the same concept of saying there's perturbations and there's a certain amount of variety you need, and as you go through in very stable environments or very changeable environments, you need to keep ahead of the amount of variety with an amount of variety that you're going to experience.
Which is interesting because most businesses do the absolute opposite.
They specialise.
So they optimise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rather than increase the amount of responses they have to the perturbations, they tend to reduce them and optimise, so they're less vulnerable.
For some reason, I'm thinking about bicycles because, people said, "Oh well, touring bikes are out now. It's all mountain bikes. We'll get rid of the touring bike bit.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of racing bikes. We'll just focus on mountain bikes." And then all you need is one change, like maybe a change in the law or just the fashion. Because now mammals, they go out road cycling rather than playing golf, don't they? Cycling is the new golf. So suddenly everybody wants road bikes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And some of the bike manufacturers are thinking, oh God, we only make mountain bikes.
That's right.
Yeah.
And because they didn't know that the mammal fashion was going to come along.
Of course.
So you want to keep, rather than specialising in what you're good at, you want to keep a few other things going, perhaps, just to keep that security and have some new things. Of course, electric bikes.
Previous example of the bat orchid, the orchids and the bats, because people are constantly working on widening that offering into the marketplace because they don't know, they can't predict what's going to succeed.
No,
but it gives them more.
And they do multi-packs in
lovely
boxes you can give people as a present with different types of plant. And they're always looking at different ways to present them out there.
But more, if I look at these industrial businesses that I've certainly been in, the whole drive was to cut products. So now to optimize. So we'll get rid of that range. Exactly. Get rid of that range. Let's focus on what we're good at. And you say, but at what cost? So it didn't have to be much of a trip up, for instance, in one marketplace.
Yes.
For you to end up in real deep trouble.
And your fractal model encourages variety because individuals have got a lot more manoeuvrability. You know, just like I have, I can just start doing Zoom. I don't have to have a whole department. I'm not told that there isn't a department for that, or it's not part of my job role. I could just do it if I want. And
also,
that's presumably what happens.
Also, as individuals, they tend to do things a bit differently.
Yeah,
like
between one person and another.
Yeah, like if you left your band and somebody else came to join it, they wouldn't play exactly the same as you.
They wouldn't be as good.
There you go.
Of course not.
But
they'd be different for sure.
But again, if you have people in your band who can play other instruments, then again that means that if somebody's ill on the night, you can cope.
Yes.
So it's all about having that
more resilient.
Yes, a resilient setup for the sort of things that can go wrong that you can predict and say, well, if somebody's ill, rushes off stage, what's going to happen? Do we go start? We'll just leave the bit. He normally does a solo now, and then
we'll stop for total silence for 1 minute. I'll go. There was a sax solo here normally.
Yeah, but obviously he had to go.